What's good, y'all? It's your boy Agent P of the GLP here to give you guys another Nuggets Talk recap for Suns and Nuggets. We love playing these guys, man, don't we? Oh man, it's always fun playing the Phoenix Suns, man. It was good. It didn't start off like a game we thought would be that fun. No Murray, no Aaron Gordon for Denver, and then no Devin Booker or Bradley Beal for Phoenix. Gordon and Beal have been dealing with longer term injuries. Gordon is heel, and Beal with his back. Jamal Murray and Devin Booker, both funny enough, but not funny, both rolled their ankles in the prior game, so neither of them saw action tonight. Here we are in the first quarter. Both teams cannot miss. 8:31 mark in the first. 15-14 Phoenix. Both teams shot a combined 12 for 14, including Phoenix going 6 for 6. Defense was not desired in this game. I'll tell you that right now. 4:54 mark in the first. Denver went up 26-23. Phoenix finally started missing a couple shots. But Denver kept pouring it on. Porter was up to 8 at this point. 2:36 mark in the first. It's 35-25 Denver. Denver goes on another run. They start to tighten up the screws a little bit defensively, and the offense is still humming. Michael Porter Jr. had 12 points at that point, and he was moving the ball nicely. Had a nice drive and kick out to KCP, and Jokic had 5 assists at that point already. They shot 79% from the field in the first quarter, and for the second straight game, after one, the Nuggets had 41 points in the first quarter, and they led 41-30. Second quarter, this was a nice stretch from the bench unit. 7:31 mark, Denver's up by 12. They're still shooting 74% from the field at this point. Really nice ball movement. The whole bench unit just looking great. Christian Brown, Reggie, Justin Holiday, DeAndre Jordan, and Julian Straw. They're all playing well. Brown had 4 assists at this point, just making nice secondary plays. 2:47 Nuggets extending the lead, 67-51. Reggie Jackson was hooping. He was up to 14 points in the first half, and Jokic at this point had 10 assists. There was a small note I wanted to make that I will elaborate on, but Peyton Watson checked into this game. KD was on fire to start this game, and for the first half, he had 22 points. But when they put Peyton Watson in the beginning, end of the first quarter, and into the moments when KD was on the floor in the second, he actually did make it a little bit harder for Kevin Durant to score. So I'll talk about that a little bit later. But a late Phoenix run in the second quarter, a 12-3 run, closed the gap, and Denver's lead all of a sudden went down to 7 instead of being a double-digit lead, which it should have been. 70-63 at the half. Jokic, like I said, 10 assists in the first half. Jackson had 14. KCP had 12. Porter had 10. Durant had 22 at this point. Eric Gordon and Nurk both had 13. Third quarter, things start to get a little bit more spicy. Denver's lead is still 9 at the 7:27 mark. Jokic up to 12 assists at this point, and Denver still can't stop scoring. But this is when Phoenix started to make their run. At the 2:06 mark in the third, it was 91-89 Denver. A 10-3 run got Phoenix back into the game. Nurkic was playing real physical this one. There was a little stretch here where it looked like Jokic pushed him, forearmed him. He was trying to, gauge when Nurkic was backing down so he could forearm him. Mistimed it. Jokic actually forearmed him, and the ref didn't call a foul. And then Jokic flopped his ass off when Nurkic got into his chest. He backed down, had a nice flop, and they called an offensive foul. And that's when they got heated in Phoenix. Phoenix was real mad, especially that crowd. Everyone was going crazy. But that coincided with Nurkic having his best stretch of the game. He scored 13 points in the quarter, got Jokic on a couple of nice post-ups, and he was up to 26 points in the game. Phoenix actually won that quarter 28-24, and Nuggets were only up 3 after 3 quarters, 94-91. There was a moment there when Phoenix was coming back that Jokic decided, hey, I got to be a little bit more aggressive here, up to scoring up to 14 after 3. In the fourth quarter, just going to start talking about plays happening. So we are at the 4:38 mark. It's 107-104 Denver. Jokic had a nice jumper at the free throw line to get the lead back up to 3. Peyton Watson blocked Kevin Durant from behind. And then the craziest thing that I saw from the night, Jokic came down the court, and they called a foul on Nurkic as Jokic was driving to the basket. Didn't look like a lot of contact, I'll be real. But the entire Phoenix bench went crazy. Every player stood up. Frank Vogel looked like he was going to pass out. He ran straight at the ref and then back to the bench. And they had called no techs. I was tripping. I was like, they showed so much ridiculousness to the ref. Draymond Green would have even gotten a tech for that. And they didn't do nothing to the Suns bench. I was flabbergasted. Phoenix had the audacity to be so mad in this game when their free throw edge was 26-12 ultimately in this game. It was ridiculous. I have no idea why they were so annoyed with the refereeing when they had 14 more free throw attempts than us. That was ridiculous. But anyway, we get into the back and forth here. After that sequence, and Nurkic goes to the bench with his fifth foul, MPJ's step back jumper keeps the lead at 3. KD had a couple of free throws, then KCP hits a 3 in the corner. KD comes back, hits some more free throws. That would be a theme because KD did not hit any field goals in the second half. He was 0 for 10. MPJ had a wide open look in the corner off a Jokic pass, didn't hit it. Nurkic came down, did get fouled, hit 1 and 2 free throws. At this point, it's 114, 111. Jokic had a wide open layup, guys. Wide open layup. Denver worked it around really well and got Jokic an open layup, something that just doesn't happen. He missed it. Then right after the possession after that, Nurkic is being guarded in the post by Jokic. Nurkic on a spin move, gets his elbow up and catches Jokic flush right on the chin. Jokic falls down. Offensive foul on Nurkic. 6th foul. Getting a flagrant. He's out of here. And Jokic hits one of the 2 flagrant free throws, puts Denver up 115, 111. And then Okogie guards him on a switch. Jokic spin move off of the top of the key. Hits a nice reverse layup to ice this one. It was 117, 111 at that point. And your final score from Phoenix, 119, 111. Your Denver Nuggets win. Everyone's favorite segment, what did Jokic do tonight? It was kind of an interesting evening. 21 points, 16 assists, and 5 rebounds. He didn't really shoot that much in the first half because he didn't need to. He had 10 assists in the first half, was picking apart the defense, was in control of the game from a passing standpoint. All he had to do was play make, and all the guys on the team were hitting shots. But in the third quarter, you could see that he was trying to pick it up a little bit more, and in the fourth, he had to be a little bit more aggressive, but he was just making the plays that Jokic has to make, and he knows he has to make in order to win the game. He reads it. Usually he reads it at the right time. Sometimes plays just aren't made, like when he had that wide open layup. Sometimes plays just aren't made. He missed a couple free throws tonight too. He was a little bit sloppy with the ball, had 3 turnovers. But other than that, Jokic did his thing, man. He was in complete control first half. Couple shaky spots in the second half, but ultimately did what he needed to do to get the Nuggets the win. And that's regular season basketball, man. It don't matter how you do it. Just do what you got to do to get the dub. Jokic knows that more than anyone on the team. Other than that, our other headlines for tonight, Peyton Watson. We're going to give Peyton a shout out tonight, man, because I don't even care about what he did offensively. Tonight is about his defense. Now, everything in Kevin Durant going 0 for 10 in the second half isn't all about Peyton Watson. Peyton Watson was the primary defender on Kevin Durant a lot in this game, and he did a really good job against him. When that was his primary focus, all he had to do was focus on that. The kid did a good job. In the first half, there was a really nice play where he worked a jump ball with KD, and then in the second half, in the fourth quarter, KD it looked like he had a wide open look, and Peyton came from behind and blocked the shot. So Peyton was just making nice hustle plays throughout the whole time he was guarding KD in the second half, other than getting caught on some fouls. And I think that's him just being a little bit overzealous, and he just has to learn, as a rookie. This is essentially his rookie year, honestly. Just don't fall for the fakes too much, stay on your feet, use your length to contest KD. You don't have to fall for all that stuff because KD was not hitting in the second half. He did have some open looks, but he just wasn't hitting. He was 0 for 4 against KD was 0 for 4 against Peyton Watson in that second half. Great defensive performance from him. Chipped in a few buckets here offensively. But obviously the big story for him from this game is playing good defense. I'm pretty sure he would have got the defensive player chain for this one. And I'm proud to see his effort, man. He didn't play the last game because I believe he was sick, but he got up for this one. He knew he was going to be guarding KD, so it was nice to see him get up for that matchup. I think they have a relationship, him and KD. Peyton, because he was playing over in Long Beach, has a connection with a lot of guys in the area, or a lot of kind of big time players, which is kind of interesting. But he was a really big time recruit in high school, so he's got some connections there. And it's cool to see him playing against some of these tougher guys in the league that he used to idolize when you talk about Paul George's and KD's. So I liked his performance. He's done well in this stretch when he's gotten to play just hustling and using his size and length to contest shots defensively. So shout out to Peyton, man. You did a really good job tonight. MPJ and Reggie, they were the definition of a tale of two halves for both of these men. So Nuggets got out to that great first half lead. They were great first half. The lead at the half could have been better. but they had a great first half nonetheless. Reggie had 14 points in the first half. Him and DeAndre Jordan were working that pick and roll really well. It was like the Clippers game again. The second half, Okogie was hounding Reggie, so they did not make it easy to get into that action. The pick and roll was not as effective in the second half. Reggie only had 6 points in the second half. He had a couple of big shots, but his effect was not felt as much as it was in the first half. So, tale of two halves, it's Reggie Jackson is a player that we're relying upon as a role player, and especially in games with Jamal, you want to see him step it up a bit. 20 points is plenty. So even if it didn't all look pretty, 20 points is plenty for Reggie to go ahead and help us out and get a win. Very happy with that. And for Michael Porter Jr., he had 10 points in the first quarter, 0 in the second, 0 in the third, and then 9 points in the fourth. So just another kind of up and down MPJ performance. Scoring wise, I would love to see him finally be consistent from a scoring standpoint for one of these games. It's just the nature of his game. Sometimes he just catches the ball on the floor and it's just not going to be clean. And it's weird because there are times where Jokic looks for him on handoffs and sometimes he goes away from it. And I'm like, Mike, just go get the ball. Jokic wants to give you the ball. Go get a bucket for us. But there were moments in this game where he did get big shot, or he did hit some big shots. He had that big step back jumper over KD that kept the lead at arm's length. It was a 3-point game. So that was keeping Denver away from having the Suns tie it up when they were making some good runs here in the second half. So, Mike, it's coming, though. There was a lot of good plays in the first half. He had a really nice driving kick that you don't see him do a lot. He had a lot of nice floaters in this game, getting to the basket. He's starting to get more patient around the rim, just realizing, hey, I'm tall. I see Jokic not trying that hard when he's at the rim. I'm 6'11", too. I don't really have to jump that high or try that hard to put the ball in the basket when I'm uncontested at the rim. So it was nice seeing him do that. It's nice seeing Mike expand his game a little bit more, coming off that 30, 10, and 5 the other night. So when Jamal's not out there, obviously, he's got to have more opportunities to score. So it's a tale of two halves for sure, but there was a lot of good, and I'm not going to dead him too much for that. And then we have our steady gang, y'all. I'm calling it right now. These are our steady Eddies on this team. One is a little bit more volatile. He's going to be working in and out of the steady bubble. But our steady gang is Holiday, Brown, and Strawther. Justin Holiday, man, give it up. Claps up for Justin Holiday because this man has been, so far, I know it's only 20 games in, but this has been a really good veteran signing once again for the Denver Nuggets. 15 points, 5 assists, had 3 3-point field goals. Justin just did whatever the team needed, man. And that's the common theme when you play with Nikola Jokic and this Denver Nuggets team. If you make the right play, more likely than not, good things are going to happen. Move the ball, you're going to get an open shot. I tweeted in the first half, I was like, Justin Holiday might have extended his career by 3 years by choosing to play with the Denver Nuggets, honestly, because the next contract he might get might be nice because he's got to be like, man, all I got to do is shoot wide open threes. I get these shots all the time. This is crazy. So I'm happy what he's been able to do for this team. He's just been super steady. It's been like he's not as good as KCP defensively, but when he runs hot, man, he can hit some open shots for you, and it's almost like having a facsimile from the 3 position. So having him with KCP, with Porter, there's just so much spacing on the court. That's why you saw Jokic diamond it up in the first half. So Justin Holiday, shout out to you, man. Just keep playing that steady basketball. We appreciate it. Christian Brown, another steady guy. 8 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Christian just doing everything, man. Everything he always be doing. He did play a little bit more point guard in the second half because Reggie was getting a little bit more ball pressure in the second half. The offense was a little bit more stunted, and that's something that they got to work on. But I'm always happy with Christian Brown's performances, man. That dude is always steady. And Julian Strawther, he had 11 points in this one. I don't think people will really remember that much, but he had 11 points in this game. It's because he was 3 of 8 from 3, I believe. So had some good moments, and going 3 from 8 from 3 isn't that bad. I think his night just would have been a little bit more loud from a viewing standpoint if he had made a couple more of those, because all of his looks were good. Maybe one wasn't good, but all of his shots were open, and he just has to. I mean, I think he obviously knows, but being on this team, it's like, hey, man, we know you got a quick release. Just set yourself up, knock down the shots. It's like when we see Mike wide open, it's like, hey, when Mike's open, we think it's going in. Julian Strawther, I have that same feeling. Just want him to be a little bit more just a little bit more patient, and he's a rookie. He's going to want to get those shots off, but they're going to be there. He got 8 threes up tonight. That's a good number from him, I think, because I think on most nights we're talking 5 for 8. That's a difference maker for us. So keep doing what you're doing. And like you said, nice to move the ball, good connecting player. He got caught out in a couple of reaching fouls, which is something that a rookie is prone to do. But other than that, steady Eddie. Holiday, Brown, and Strother, thank you very much for tonight. Stats breakdown. Nuggets shot 57% from the field. They shot well the entire night. They shot, like I said, 79% in the first quarter. That was crazy. 38 assists on 50 field goals. Nuggets were actually out-rebounded in this one by 11, and the Suns had the audacity once again to complain when the free throw count was 26-12. But I digress. A dub is a dub. Take that, Frank Vogel. Nurkic had 31 before he fouled Outlaw, and KD had 30, but on 8 of 25 shooting, 13 of 13 from the free throw line, but 8 of 25 shooting. Salute to you, Peyton Watson. Nuggets are now 14-6, and they get right back on the horse tomorrow. They're going to be in Sacramento tomorrow night. I will not be able to give you a recap for that one. I apologize, but I will be giving you guys a full pod for Monday that previews some of the IST game quarterfinals. We're in the knockout stage of the IST, guys. Really excited to talk about that, as well as some other things with the league. So appreciate you listening to this recap. Have a good one.